Hold on. All right. Well, I'll talk here. I don't know what happened with Amy and her camera, but one of the things about the ticket increase that I don't think people realize is the ticket increase in price makes the jackpot go up, because the jackpot is a percentage of the ticket price. So about 40% of ticket sales is what the jackpot is. So when ticket price goes up, then the ticket sales, if that stays the same, then the jackpot goes up, right? Because the ticket is more. So what happened this year is I think people were unprepared for the ticket price change. So when it was $3, they went maybe bought $100 worth of tickets and they got fewer tickets than they got before. But with that price change, it should have made the jackpot go up. So I'd really encourage everybody next year, buy more tickets. That's how the jackpot goes up. Buy more tickets. The more tickets you buy, the more that you share about the Ice Classic, and the more that you get your friends to buy tickets, then that is how we get the jackpot to be back up in the $300,000 range, which it was like, I don't know, 5 years ago. Anyway, before COVID, it was pretty high. So that's definitely what we want, right? Is a big jackpot. So if we sell more tickets, then we'll get a bigger jackpot. One of the ways that you can get your friends to go in with you to buy tickets is if you play with the pool. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with how to play with the pool. What you do is you get, it can even be two people. You get two or more people together to go in on tickets. Then you have one ticket that is the key ticket, and then all the other tickets are part of the pool. And then if one of the pool ticket wins, then all the people in that pool win. There are special directions for that on the website about how to fill out that key ticket so that your pool can win. Now, there are pools that win. I think last year there were 2 pools that win. So when a pool wins, it's like one winning ticket, but it's broken up with all the people in that pool. So if there's 3 people in the pool with one winning ticket, then that one winning ticket is split into 3 parts, and each one of the people in the pool wins and gets a check from the Ice Classic. And who wouldn't like that, right? So that's one of the ways that Jerry is in on so many tickets, our other reporter. And that's because she goes in with people from her work. She goes in with her friends. They buy a lot of tickets together. And then instead of having one guess on one ticket, then you have chances on a bunch of guesses on a bunch of tickets. And really, that's what everybody wants, right? Is everybody wants more guesses to win. So if you can get your friends to go in on a pool, that's a super great way to do it. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so do you have any questions? I would be glad to answer some questions about the Ice Classic. I'm super happy to be back. I live in Washington now, so I'm not on the riverbank, but I think I'm even more obsessed than I was before. And I'm having a great time with the social media and putting stuff out for information purposes. So if you could go and actually click on our page in Facebook, you will be able to see lots and lots and lots of information posts that I have put up there. I'm trying to see what else Amy is doing here on the camera, but she's not looking at the river anymore. So I guess nothing really exciting is happening there. We're just kind of waiting for the tripod to move, the ice to move. The clock has not stopped yet. The tripod is just laying over, and it's just kind of hanging out there. And unfortunately for us, watching, just the tripod lay there is kind of like boring. We don't want to be boring, right? So it's kind of fun to be back. I love the Ice Classic. I love telling people about the Ice Classic. And I have to say that everybody that I tell about the Ice Classic thinks it's just the greatest thing. They don't know why. The whole world doesn't know about it. I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't know why the whole world doesn't know about it. I tell everybody about it, that even without betting that you can have such a good time watching the ice melt. People are like, you're so weird. You watch the ice melt. I'm like, you have no idea how exciting it is to watch the ice melt in Alaska. So here's a question. Can you write the months like April, or let me see, or does it have to be numbers? Yes, I would use numbers. When they are recording and entering the tickets in the database, they're doing it on computers with 10 keys kind of. So they really want to make sure that they get all those in right. So I would use numbers, write very clearly, make sure you have your phone number on it. Before everybody had a cell phone, having your address on it was more important so they could actually get you the ticket. But now that you have cell phones, make sure that your cell phone number is clearly on it. They will use that information to contact you if you win. They'll also send a certified letter, and then they make sure they actually talk to you. And then they will send out a check June 1st if you're the winner. It goes out every June 1st. So you don't have to worry about that. Amy says, Amy says she's got to get her phone charged and then she'll be back out. So that's awesome. Yeah. So, we're trying out this new platform here where I'm sitting in Washington. I got the tripod behind me here on a virtual screen, obviously not current. And Amy is sitting there at the riverbank, and we're running off the internet here in Washington. So this is just absolutely amazing. I cannot even believe that we can do this for you. I was so sad when I left Alaska, and I thought I would have to give this up forever. And I cried for probably 2 years until I said, you know what, I just can't leave this alone. I really have to get back to it. I have to figure out how to do this. So I was so super happy last year to get in touch with Jerry and to get in touch with Amy and find the dream team, the Ice Queen dream team. And so we can get out and share this amazing thing that happens in Alaska with you. We just have so much fun watching it and telling you about our community and about other things going on. I do try to share some other things on the page, some things that are going on with Alaska, like about the Iditarod or about the other dog sled races that are going on, or some fun things like it was about that slush cup or something that was down in Alyeska. I do try to put some things up that are interesting, Alaska related, but not try to spam you too much the rest of the year, things that are going on. But boy, do I spam you right now, don't I? There's so much information and I love sharing it. And you know what? I couldn't stay away. Like, I'm just so into this. Even though I'm gone now, wow, I just can't even, like, I have been so happy to be there with Jerry this year in her little videos, watching the ice melt upstream, watching the river otters, watching the swans go over. That is just so special. Like, after that long winter in Alaska, and you get to get outside and you get to feel the breeze and it's warm on your skin. And it is just amazing to be out there and watch. It's like watching life come back when you're out there in the springtime. It's so fun. I'm right here on the coast in Washington. So within the last week or so, I've watched the birds fly over my house. And I said, I know you're on the way to Alaska, so check out the tripod when you get there. So that's really fun because, we're about 2 weeks ahead of what's going on there. Our leaves are out. So yeah, I miss being up there. I miss being there for the tripod and watching everything. But technology is so wonderful. I can't believe I can sit here and talk about what's going on there. Let's see. Carol says, I've watched for many years. There we go. It's always fun. You're the best part of it. I was also sad when you left, but this is great. And it is great. And I am having so much fun with this. Amy has just been great finding some new technology for us so that I can be there on the river. I can tell you about it. And it's so much fun being kind of behind the scenes here with the social media, because I can put out all the posts about the comparisons. I have all that information. I'm really hoping that Amy's taken lots of pictures, so she will have that database as well. But let me tell you, I'm taking at least a picture a day from the webcam, so I will still have my comparisons to come. I love everything about spring in Alaska. So let me see here. What else? Thanks for your time. Glad you're still involved. Oh, yes. Love your beauty surrounds me. Okay. So I have an Instagram page where I post photographs. Beauty surrounds me. So if you want to go over there and check it out, that would be great. We're just sitting here waiting for Amy's phone to charge a little bit so she can get back to the river. I would love to answer any questions you have about the Nenana Ice Classic or what I'm doing. We're just kind of hanging out here for a few minutes. The tripod has fallen over, but it hasn't stopped the clock. It is just kind of laying there. The flags are flat on the river, and we're just kind of waiting to see what happens now. Sometimes the ice will just kind of float away down the river. I think that's kind of what's going to happen this year because it's so rotten out there. And, I don't think there's going to be any big pieces or any big dramatics of breakup this year, but every breakup is exciting. And I got my things covered up here. So let me check out the comments. Watched for many years. You love the pictures on Facebook. Where I am in Washington is absolutely beautiful. Here, this is a great comment. I'm looking at this. Keeping up on commentary on the fast-moving action of slowly melting ice is tough. Yeah, of course, much more dramatic and exciting with moving chunks of ice. Yeah, sometimes I get tired of talking, but, I have so much information about the Ice Classic that I can share with people that the comments are really what keep me going because it just gives me another topic to talk about. I see that Cheryl is saying, what time did it go out? It hasn't gone out yet. It's laid over on the ice. It's just kind of hanging out there. Amy's getting her phone charged and then she'll be back on so you can see it, but you haven't missed out. You're not out of the game. Just the clock has stopped, or the clock has not stopped. The tripod is down. So don't give up hope if you still have tickets for today. Like you're still in the game. Yay. It's all good. Let me see here. I want to give a big shout out to the other people that have been helping us this year too. Mike Arena did a few updates early when nothing was happening. And I told him, that's fine. Go out and update us and tell us that nothing is happening with the ice. That's what we need to know. We just want to know what the temperature is and that. And Lorinda did a great update for me last night. And she got me a video of the train, which, I absolutely love the train. So that was super cool to have that. Alaska Railroad, when they come through Nenana, is always a thrill. Let's see. Yeah. So Mike did a great job for us. Lorinda's done some. Jerry, right on, girl, like girl after my own heart. Like she is so excited. That's what it's all about. When it's been so cold for so long and you get to stand out there on the riverbank and watch the ice melt. Like that's exciting. It sounds really dumb, but it's so encompassing because, when you're looking at it in this tiny little screen, right, in your phone screen, it's just right here. But when you're there on the riverbank, it's all the way up to that side and it's all the way out that side. And it's as far as you can see in front of you. And it's really hard to get it in the tiny little screen that's in front of you because I noticed when I was there, I'd be watching on the left and then watching on the right. And then the action happens in the middle, so that makes it kind of difficult. But unfortunately, on this platform we're working on, it's kind of hard to zoom in. So we're kind of getting a little far away pictures, but we're really working hard to get the Ice Classic still presented to people. There's a little bit of a lag in Nenana with the internet there because it's not super great internet. But, we work with what we can. Being in Washington, I'm working off Starlink, so I can hold the internet a little bit like this when we're streaming like this. But we're always looking for new ways to bring this to you and show you how this works. And thank you for hanging out with us. And thank you for keeping with us while we go through this so that we can actually show you what's happening with the Ice Classic. We're waiting for Amy right now. She's getting her phone charged up again, and then she'll be out there. So Linda says everything is done by volunteers. Right. Yeah, I'm a volunteer. I'm just obsessed with the Ice Classic. I started the fan page in 2015 with just a couple of pictures. And then Facebook, it really changed for me when Facebook came out with Facebook Live. I think that was in like 2018, 2019. And instead of just being pictures, then I could be out showing you what was going on in the river. That's when it really changed for me. But being part of, when I was in Nenana, I was on the board of directors. So I really learned a lot about how the inside of the Ice Classic works. I have been employed by the Ice Classic, so I know the ticket process because I was part of that. I was data entry. And yes, all of us are volunteers, and all of the funding for all of this comes out of my own pocket because I am obsessed. I thought it would get better when I left, like I could leave it all up there in Nenana. But this Ice Classic is just so incredibly interesting. And there is so much information that I still have to give you. And every time I give you information, like it feels like the interest in the Ice Classic should just exponentially expand because it's just so cool. Do you know they have information on when the ice melted since 1917? Like, that's incredible. Like, all these people talking about climate change and those issues, like, there is down to the minute they have kept records from when the ice on this river moved out. I think that's absolutely fabulous and amazing. The things going on in Nenana surrounding the Ice Classic are also really cool. This year, they are doing a celebration of the Mears Memorial Bridge that's there in Nenana, the railroad bridge. And they have made a new town square in Nenana, and they are going to be putting up a some kind of memorial model railroad along with the bridge, just to commemorate how awesome that bridge is. The people that made the bridge in Nenana, Alaska, are the same people that made the Empire State Building. Like, that's really cool, right? And President Harding was up there and he drove in the Golden Spike. Like, that's really cool. That bridge is like if you look into, I don't know it right offhand, but if you look into it, it's something like it's the longest railroad bridge, the trestle bridge. Like, it's cool history. Why wouldn't everybody want to know that? And everybody I tell about the Ice Classic is like, oh, that's so cool. You can bet on when the ice melts. So I really want to bring this to a lot of people's attention, not only just for the betting purposes, but just for the excitement of watching it. Someone said to me, it's kind of like waiting for a baby. It totally is like waiting for a baby. We're just so excited after that long winter. It can be 20, 30, even 40, 50 below for months at a time. And to be able to get out there on the riverbank and you feel the warmth on your skin and you see the sun melting the ice, like it does something in your brain. It's so cool. Let me see here. I'm going to see some other comments here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. She said here at the fan page, it's all volunteers. Yay. Yeah, that's so awesome. We're working on this platform where we can put up the comments down there. That's super fun. So yes, so if you don't live in Alaska, you can still play. Ooh, did you even know that? It's awesome. So if you go to the website, www.nenanaakiceclassic.com, there is a tab in there to go to tickets. And on that tickets tab, you can find where it has rules for non-residents. And how you play if you're not in Alaska is you send in your guesses written on a piece of paper, you send in the money, and then the Ice Classic will fill out the tickets for you. So you can still play even if you don't live in Alaska. The only thing is the tickets have to be postmarked by April 5th. So don't wait until midnight to go mail your tickets because they have to be postmarked by April 5th. So next year, if you follow us now, you'll get a reminder. Tickets go on sale February 1st. They're on sale till April 5th. If you're mailing your guesses, do not mail them before February 1st because they will not accept guesses taken in the mail that are postmarked before February 1st. That is something new. They used to do it kind of all year long, but they wanted to make sure to keep it a little more, I guess, in boundaries. But if you're ever in Nenana, you can buy tickets year round in Nenana. You can buy them at the gas station. You can buy them at the Civic Center. I think you can probably buy them at the Visitor Center. So stop by Nenana and get your tickets if you're ever in Alaska. I think it would be a great idea if the Nenana Ice Classic put up the tickets at like the state fair. I think they would sell a lot of tickets if they did that. One of the things that's really concerning to me is that they're not selling a lot of tickets. And I'm not really sure why that is. I mean, I guess if you're selling 150,000 tickets, that's a lot of tickets. But if you think before COVID, before COVID, the jackpot was, say, $330,000. That was one year I was on the board. Okay, so that means that $330 is about 40% of ticket sales, right? Well, at $2.50 a ticket, you know that they're getting up there into the 250,000 ticket range. Well, if they don't sell that many tickets, the jackpot goes down. So we know they're not selling a lot of tickets. So how do we get more people to buy more tickets so that the jackpot goes up? That's really what we're talking about. How do we get more people to buy more tickets? So I want to encourage you, share this with your friends. Tell your friends, the crazy people in Alaska watch ice melt. The jackpot this year is $222,101. $222,101. Now, I have a spreadsheet of all the information from the Ice Classic, all the dates that the ice went out, and how many winners there were, and what the jackpots were. And I love sharing that information with you. And this morning I shared that 11 of the let's see. Okay. So there have been 15 years with one winner in the jackpot. That's a lot of money. 15 years with one winner. And 11 of those years, the ice has gone out after May 7th. That means that the chances of this year having one winner is pretty high. I was so stoked. Back in 2019, when I was on the board and there was one winner for the $313,000 jackpot, I got to sign the check. Unfortunately, I wasn't the winner, but I got to sign the check because I was on the board and I was available. And it was so cool. Like, I just think that's so awesome. I've also been up in the tower where they put all the mechanism up. You know, it's not the clock tower, it's the big tower. I've been up in that. Super cool. I got to take some pictures up there one year. Let's see. Ooh, I have the 2020 tripod flag. You see that little flag right there that hangs on top of the tripod? I have the 2020 flag. All right, so Amy says that she is ready to film again. So I will pause and she can hop back on. All right. Well, I don't know if she's going to come on talking. She might. Okay, here's a good question. How does it work if no one got the exact time? Does it go to the next closest? Yes, Craig, it does. It goes to the next closest. It goes either direction, though. It doesn't have to be the closest without going over. It's closest either way. So that's awesome. You can see the tripod out there now. It's not standing as proudly as it has been with its flags in the air. It's just kind of that little stick up out there in the middle. It's got one leg sticking up. So I'm sorry we can't zoom in anymore or give you any better view, but that's kind of what it is. It's just got a little leg sticking up out there. However, there's lots of things happening in the
It's moving, water. Guys. It's moving. It's moving. You can hear it.
That's so cool.
Oh my gosh. It was not too much, just a little budge, but
you know what? It looks like it rolled over a little bit. I can see two legs now.
Yeah, so what happened is it was like this and it just went like that.
Just rolled over. Well, you know, that's movement underneath.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Woot.
Whew, I'm so glad I started the camera right before that happened.
Right? It's so hard. You just can't like ever say it's going to start now. Everybody get ready.
Yeah, I've got about 30% right now, so I can last for a while longer, but I have to tell you, I specifically drove my car over here because it has an outlet plug in it. And I knew that I
Uh-huh.
wouldn't want to be at the river too long without access to a plug. So that helped a lot to get that turbocharged with my wall charger right in my car. So thanks for
Yeah, that's
hanging tight,
awesome.
everyone.
Well, they all enjoyed listening to me talk. They all miss me.
Yes,
It felt great
yes.
here being behind the camera, watching the ice melt, being the one talking. It's so amazing what technology can do. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I am so glad that you get to hang out with us, and we definitely do miss you a lot.
Oh, wow. So what's going on with the water? Do you see a lot of flow? Any flow?
Okay, so right around the tripod, this hole, where the pad was that the tripod was sitting,
Mhm.
it's basically all water now. So
Wow.
I will say this section is still a little bit icy, but honestly, so much all around has turned into water, even right
Yeah.
next to the tripod. I know you can't see it, but there are ice chunks shoved up against the tripod, and right around it is open water. So,
All right. Well,
um,
you just tell us what you see. That's what we need.
okay,
That's
so
great.
yeah, on this side, it's still solid. Because when they clear out that section, the pad for the tripod to be raised, they plow the snow away and get it all prepped for setting the tripod up. And so it looks like to me, you can see that snow berm right there. That is the
Mhm.
leftover snow that's plowed from all that.
Some people said to me that they thought it looked different this year with the snow plowed off. And I think part of the
Mhm.
problem is a lot of times we don't have as much snow as
Yes.
was up there this year.
Yeah, that's
Like there
the
was a
difference.
lot of snow this year. And
Yeah.
I was looking back at other tripods when I was putting the compilations together, and there are years that there's no snow
Yeah.
when the tripod goes out. So I mean, yeah, it's going to look a little weird with piles of snow sitting around it that you don't see
Yep,
other years.
that truly is the biggest factor because we had a lot of snowfall this year and even early on in the year. And so there was a lot that had already accumulated by that point. So, yep, that's the difference.
Yeah.
I am
That's so
seeing
cool.
some more open patches. I'm seeing a few ice chunks bobbling up and down, tiny ones, nothing major, but every little bit counts, honestly. If there's chunks, even if they're small, that are bobbing up and down through those holes, that means there's
Mhm.
movement. So,
So, would you say that most of the tripod right now is underwater? I can see two legs sticking up, but is there more of it above water than that?
I'd say 3/5 of it is below water.
Okay,
Not
that's
quite
awesome.
not quite 2/3, but yeah, it looks like more than half, but not 2/3.
Yeah. One of the things I often get comments on is people say, "Hey, did you know there's a sandbar out there and it sits on a sandbar?" Well, so if there's a sandbar out there, it's always been out there? I hear it every year. So, I mean, I've never been out there. There probably is a sandbar out there. But if you know anything about fast moving rivers, the bottom moves all the time. Like some days in one spot, it might be 3 feet thick. And the next day in the same spot, it might be 6 feet thick just because
Mhm.
the way the bottom moves. So, if there is a sandbar out there, which I'm not saying there's not, it's always there. So it doesn't really change breakup that much. And people say, "Oh, well, it gets stuck out there." Well, even if the tripod does get stuck out there, like that chance is there every year because the tripod is put in the exact same place every year,
Yeah, and
basically.
the other thing is that even if there was a sandbar that happened to be there right underneath the tripod, I can still say the tripod does not sit on the sandbar. It is sitting on the ice that they carve out with those chainsaws. And so and I watched it go into those ice slots. So it's not sitting on a sandbar in the middle of the river. It really is sitting on the ice. And yeah, it's possible there could be a sandbar, a few feet underneath or something, but It's the ice
Well,
that's holding it in place.
the other thing I have to say about that is that river moves so fast.
Mhm.
When you're looking at it right now, it you can't see that it's moving any, right? Because all we see is ice on top. But when it opens and the water starts flowing by, it is going so fast that, I mean, of course it's going to take it out with it. There's no way you could have something just sit on the bottom,
Mhm.
something like this. Now, if it's a tree that's been there for a while, yeah, but I don't ever see it just sitting there on a sandbar forever.
Yeah, another thing that if there was a lot of I mean, if it really was a lot of blockage from a sandbar, you would also see tree logs lodged in that area. You can
Yeah,
see a
like, I
lot of
know.
tree logs in the background, and they are lodged there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Here on the camera, you can't see it, but over there on the other side of the river, there's a slough on the other side, just like behind the tripod. And that slough, since I've been in Nenana, is almost completely closed off due to all of the trees that are sitting over there now. So, I mean, they're not going to stay in the middle of the river.
Mhm. Yep. I mean, there's one thing that we all know about this river is it is swift and dangerous. And we all know to not go out and swim in this river because it will sweep you away. So it's definitely got enough strength to sweep the 30-foot tripod away. It yeah, you
Yes,
don't
and
want to mess
always
with this
be
river.
very, very careful. Don't fall in because
Mhm.
it is so
Yep.
cold that it just takes your breath away. You cannot breathe in.
Yeah, for sure. So I wanted to show you real quick. I'll just, lift it up off the tripod real quick. But this whole section down here, I don't know if you can tell, but it has definitely melted even more since being here.
Wow.
Yeah,
All
so like
right.
this
So,
this is all it I mean like I can actually see some cracks now. There's cracks right here. Out here, this line right there, that's a crack. That's like new stuff that has
it looks
just
a
been
lot
happening.
more wet.
Yep. Even
Like,
right here, there's a crack that goes all through this stuff. So
yeah.
stuff
Now,
is shifting. Like in fact, now that I'm actually watching and looking, the crack goes all the way back there. So it's a
yeah.
long
One of
crack.
the things to be aware of, Amy, right there on the riverbank, is that it's getting shallow on this side of the river. And
Yep.
so the water that, like, the edge of the river is not right there in front of you
Right.
anymore, like
Yep.
right up on the bank, because the water is pretty low right now. So the water, like the free flowing river, is probably all the way out to that crack. Because you can see down underneath the railroad bridge how far out the riverbank goes.
Mhm.
So that is probably mostly sand right there in front of you, which doesn't mean it won't be moving, but it's not like right at the edge of the flowing river.
Mhm. Yeah. And just to see that all this stuff is cracking right here, it seems like, once we do get more movement, then this stuff will start to break away and be able to, bump into stuff, shove more things downriver. So,
Right.
it's
That's one of the reasons we generally say we're waiting for the water to come down from the Chena and the ice that comes down from out near Fairbanks is because when it comes, it raises up the water level and then all that anchor ice on the edge can break up and then all the middle of the river can go out.
yeah. Yep. So we'll see how it all plays out. I mean, yeah. I was just gonna say at this rate, it really could go out this afternoon as far as I mean it has been moving, but there's really so many factors. It's hard to
Right.
say. And if we are waiting for a gush of water from the Chena, it hasn't happened yet. And so maybe there's really not as much I don't know. There's just not as much as there yeah, it's just so different every year.
Right. Somebody was asking a question. How do you know how many winners there are? Well, Amy was very happy to tell me that they are already done processing the tickets this year, which means that as soon as the tripod goes out, they will go back and check through the tickets and find the winning tickets. They're all in a computer, so they'll just go back and they'll pull all the tickets that match that. They'll make sure that the tickets match the time, and then that'll be how many winners. So I was just saying 11 out of the last 15 years when there's only been one winner has been after May 7th. So, I mean, the chances of there being a single winner, pretty high. That's pretty cool.
It's really exciting. Man, whoever's going to get those calls are going to be so excited.
Right? Sometimes people are like, I forgot my ticket times. Well, then they'd be really excited if they got a phone call and they didn't even remember.
Yep. I even put my ticket times on the calendar so I can see. Yep.
That's so cool. I suppose you could do that if you didn't have 500 tickets like Jerry.
That's true. You would have a very cluttered calendar if you had that many tickets.
Yeah, I don't know how many tickets she has left. I asked her earlier and she still had 30 or some to go.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
Are
enough.
there still people down there on the riverbank with
you?
You?
People have come and gone, so it's a new crowd. I mean, some people have stayed, but it's kind of a new crowd. I'll turn it around and you can kind of see who's joined us. There's 1, 2.
Oh, wait, no, it's just me on the camera. Hang on.
Okay. Yeah, so here you go. I'm counting the cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars right now, and probably about maybe just over 15 people. So yeah, people are coming and going. The word has definitely gotten out that the tripod is tipped, because there have been people in and out this whole time.
Yeah. So let's see. Tripod time right now is 2:52, correct?
Yep, that is correct.
Woot woot. Okay. That's awesome.
Yep, I'm really just watching out there right around the tripod. There's some resistance showing with the bubbling water right around it. You can tell the water is hitting up against those ice chunks that are lodged right in the tripod. I mean, the ice chunks are like in between the logs and all that. So
oh, that's awesome.
Yep. I mean, that kind of goes to show that if there are chunks that come floating down, they would shove that tripod for sure.
Yeah. Are you planning on hanging out at the river for a while?
Yeah, well, now I'm afraid to leave.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's the gamble of the game. It's like you really never know when things are going to go down. And
did you happen to get a look?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask you if you had a chance to look at the drone footage from earlier.
No, see, I haven't even gotten the chance to see the drone footage because I've been on camera or charging my phone, fiddling with the lives this whole time. So
yeah, that's so awesome. Well, we'll definitely post them whether the ice goes out quickly or not. We'll make sure they get up there eventually.
Yeah, yep, we will.
Drone pictures are really cool. I was really happy to have some people that posted some footage from around when the tripod was being put up. We got some really awesome drone footage. We got some really awesome 360 pictures, which I have to admit, I didn't even know how that worked when she sent them to me, but those are really cool. So yeah, any fan pictures, photos, videos, I would totally post if, they're accurate and good information. I did share a video from YouTube the other day. It was one of the tour bus drivers, and every time he goes through town and has the chance, he stops and he poses for the ice cam. So I think that's super cool. So he was just talking about the Ice Classic, so I posted that because we want to help everybody out, right? If they're talking about the Nenana Ice Classic, then they deserve our love.
Yeah, awesome. It is so fun to just share people's personal experiences, their photos. It really is an iconic thing around here. And, when tour buses come through or even independent travelers through the summer, um, they'll ask, where's the tripod? Where's the clock tower? And, we'll direct them
Yeah.
downriver. It looks like there's some people posing for it right now, actually.
That's awesome. I'll get on my phone and see if I can take their picture.
Yeah, it's Josh and James.
Is it?
Yep. I think Josh is
Oh,
catching a screenshot of himself and James. That's my
see him looking
husband.
at his phone. That's funny.
Yep.
Well, let's see here. What recent year had the major ice breakup? I remember the footage was very impressive. So we have no footage from 2021. I had moved away and nobody was filming. So I have a few pictures that people have sent me from 2021 to use in my comparisons, and I love that. So if you have more pictures from 2021, I'd love to have them. 2022, it was really, we really didn't have anything set up to cover 2022 yet. And right at the end, when like the day before the tripod went out, I got in touch with Amy and I was like, Amy, please help me. And so she went down. But last year it was kind of like this. And then Amy went home and then the tripod went out. So we kind of missed it last year. But thankfully, there
Yeah.
were people on the riverbank who were filming and they allowed us to use their footage. So we were able to have some footage last year, which was fabulous. Hopefully this year we'll get live footage, but of course there is no guarantee because we have other lives and we're just volunteers here, but we do our best to get here. So the year that had the major ice breakup was 2020. That was the last year I was in Alaska, and I was so thrilled that that breakup was so vibrant. We had, I'm going to come back on here because I'm talking. We had great big ice chunks. We had great big ice chunks, and it was really fun to watch them go down. They were the size of school buses. They were coming right at the bank toward us. When they hit the bank, you can feel the dirt move under your feet. You can feel it. It goes down that metal grate that's right there in front of the Ice Classic office. You can feel it go down there. So you can like feel it in your bones when that's happening, and you can hear it. You can almost, you can almost feel it in the air. It's so awesome. That was a really, really, really great year. One of the things I'm planning on YouTube this summer, as I get more into YouTube and putting my videos on YouTube, is that I have some really great footage just in videos that I have on my camera that I never posted. And I would really like to put all those out and do a couple of videos about just watching the tripod not in season. I have 1,000 good photos of the tripod. So I'm going to be working on that this summer, getting more videos out so people know what it's like. It's hard to put photos of the tripod out right now unless they're this year's, because people get a little antsy when they see pictures that are not current right now. But yeah, I'm going to be working on that. So come subscribe to us on YouTube. We're trying to get it so that we have a little bit more presence. So I'm on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're here on Facebook. Absolutely, Facebook is the most active. But I'm trying to branch out just to see what else is out there. I would really like to get going on YouTube because I really think that YouTube is kind of the eye of the world at this point. Everybody all over the world is watching YouTube. And I want everybody all over the world to be watching This River in Nenana because this is super exciting. I've used some hashtags. You've probably seen them around this year. One of them is We Watch Ice Melt for Fun, which I have to give Amy credit for that one because I think that's just awesome. That's what we do, and we're proud of it. The other one that I've been using is the Slow-Mo reality show because like we go hours and hours and hours with nothing, but then we all wait for the 30 seconds of excitement. So I think that would be a great tag to have on a TV show, if we were going to make a YouTube series, like season 2023 of the Slow-Mo reality show. We have so many good ideas, and yeah, I just can't wait to do them all. But if you guys have great ideas, I really want this to be a fan page. So if you have ideas that I would really, really like to know what you want to see, um, when I was in Nenana for a while, I was acting as kind of, I had the permission of acting as the official Ice Classic media group, made media presence for a while. So I changed that back in about 2018. And I am not affiliated right now with the Ice Classic in any way other than super duper fan. Um, oh, lost my train of thought. Anyway, thank you for staying on throughout this. My first time watching ice melt for fun. Yeah. So I find it fascinating. It's still fun to watch. That's awesome. Yeah, so go check us out on YouTube. Go subscribe to our channel just for fun. I'm going to be trying to put up new videos throughout the summer as I work on them and get them together. Yeah, so if we had like a season 2023, that would be awesome. We'll get Jerry's videos up on there. She is so funny. And we'll have some live content like this. Hopefully, we'll also be there when the tripod goes out, but no guarantees. So Helen wants to know, is it close? We hope so. I mean, we're here now. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah. It's about 50 degrees, and it looks like it's a really nice day. It doesn't look like the sun is super sunny, but there is some movement going on in the river. The tripod has fallen over, has moved in the water a little bit. So is it close? Yes, it's closer than it was, but I mean, it could go in 10 minutes. It could go in 2 days from here. That's the fun of it all, I guess, right? Denise wants to know, is the fan page up all year long? Yes, it is. It's not very active in the summer. I do post some things, like if there's a flood that's going to be happening, I'll put some things, or if I run across some pictures of people that have posted on social media with, in front of the tripod, we post that. Amy is good about getting pictures in the summer too of the new tripod, so I post that. But and then I post through the fall. We post when the ice is in the river. When the river freezes over, and then it's pretty slow until about the 1st of February when I start reminding about the Ice Classic. And then I start putting out a lot of information in February too, a lot of trivias, did you know, that kind of thing. So that's what I do the rest of the year. But yeah, it's super, super busy during this season, but it's all there, all up year. It's there up all year. And you can always reach me too through the fan page. I answer all the messages that come through. So if you ever want to talk to me, you can talk to me. Just message the fan page. Among Us. Let's see. I'm going to check the comments over here and see what else. I see somebody just got a notification. Somebody subscribed to our channel in YouTube. Whoop, whoop. Thank you for that. I think we just went over 300 subscribers, not quite 400. So if you went over there and subscribed, that would be super cool. We would really, really like that. The YouTube algorithms, the more people who like and subscribe and comment, they push you out to other people. Let's see. Jerry says that she still has 39 tickets in the running. That's awesome. Let's see. Amy, are you seeing anything going on there?
So I was just kind of looking around. The interesting thing is, you talk about the slow-mo reality TV show. I can see some definite changes, but like it's hard to describe because it's just kind of everywhere, and I can't really even describe exactly what is different, but it's different than when I showed up an hour and a half ago. So one thing that I do notice is that somehow it looks like the water is maybe receding. And I don't know if it's that, kind of like what you were saying, how, up close to the bank, it might be more sandy or it's shallow. It's not necessarily the water rushing right up to the bank, but I'll point out to you over here, like this section is kind of like a little bit drier than it was before. And it seems like
Okay.
the other thing is that right here, you can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but what I can see is this little top ice thing is curving, which means it seems like the support water below is kind of sinking, and it's just kind of like this crust on top. And so
Hmm.
I don't really know. I mean, I'm not saying that the water is receding. I'm just noticing it looks different, and I don't know exactly why or how, but it's just
Well,
interesting.
it's really hard to describe those things when you
Yeah,
haven't really been out there watching for a couple of years because you don't really have anything to compare it to,
right.
which I think, you're totally going to get better on as we do this more often. And you can go, oh, that's what happened last year, because you have
Mm-hmm.
something in relation. When you're out there and you're just looking at the tripod, you're not really looking at what's happening to the river. So looking
Right.
at the river is much different. That's what I was doing with Jerry. I was walking her through how to look at things so she could see what was happening.
Yeah, totally. And so what I was thinking is I might go home and get my GoPro and take a time lapse, because I think a time lapse would really be able to show us a lot more of what's happening on the river. And
Ooh.
I think that would be fun, but
Oh yeah, you can. Oh, that would be. See, the problem is though, we need like four different cameras, right?
yes, I
Because
need,
we need one doing the slow mo, and we need one from the drone, and we need one from the bank.
yeah,
We need one up
totally.
on the corner by the railroad bridge.
Yep, there are so many different angles and perspectives that you can catch this from. And, you know, whether it's the drone or the camera that can zoom or the camera that's just, watching for hours on the tripod itself, or the time lapse, like it all just, there's so many ways to
Right.
look at it to get the
Right.
holistic picture of what's going on.
And you know what? Like it's a 50% chance we're not going to be there when it happens, right? I
Yep,
mean, you're either going to be there or you're not.
yep,
So
yep, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
unfortunately, no guarantees here. We're just obsessed and we want to watch it happen, but we're all
Yeah.
volunteers with a life. So
Yep,
sometimes it
totally.
happens, sometimes it doesn't.
And there was just a few thoughts that um it you can see right where the tripod had been set up. Because the snow got plowed over there, it's been able to melt a lot faster. So it seems to have a ridge of ice kind of blocking it in, and especially on this edge, because you can see it kind of like it just kind of bumped
Yeah.
into the edge of the ice there. So, it
Would that happen to be where they put all the blocks that they took out?
it's a little bit more towards the bank than where the blocks actually were. It's for
All
you
right.
know a few feet south of that. The blocks would have been sitting right behind where the tripod is right
All righty. Well, we can take that out of the equation
now.
then.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just interesting, but I will say again, my battery has gotten back down to the dregs, and unfortunately, it's not charging fast enough to keep a live going at the same time as charging it.
Yeah.
So I think at this point I will bow out, and we'll just hope that nothing drastic happens while I, juice up the batteries and
All right.
um, get prepared to come back out again. But
All
as
right. Well,
always, you can definitely keep an eye on it through the official webcam on the NenanaAKIceClassic.com website. So even when we're not out here on the river, there's always that 30-second update that you can keep an eye on.
hey, Sharon says hi. Hey, hi from Idaho. Sharon Stark.
Hi, Sharon. Oh, that's my sister-in-law. Oh, yay. Thanks for
I know,
joining
isn't that
us.
fun? We hear and talk to all these people.
Yeah.
Jerry wants us all to be up there next year together. I'm getting some notifications that people are going over and subscribing on YouTube. So thank you
Yeah,
for that.
thanks,
And
guys.
with that, Amy, I guess we'll sign off for a while. Get your phone charged. We'll keep an eye, and
All right.
if we'll jump right back on when something exciting happens.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you all for joining
All
us,
right.
and we'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.